Okay, and right now we're talking about more reforms going to come to NAADS. Let's bring in the farmer. Morrison, you've heard what the MP has said. It's been a mouthful. But in the previous Breath of Life of NAADS, did it reach the farmers? Did the farmers benefit?
Well, my Honorable Abia can sometimes conflate and radicalize matters. But I think there is a ray of hope. I really want to begin with how do we look at farmers? How do we take farmers to be? When you said he's a farmer, you saw people started laughing. You see, people look at farmers in a victim way, and I think that's wrong. We are business people. So at the Agency for Transformation, our theory of transformation presupposes agency. Agency means the innate power of people to create life, generate life, manage their life, you see, and succeed. You see. And with all these distortions and dysfunctions that even happen within the rubric of agriculture, it is true that things are happening. That's why I think Abia tells you that when she was in Western Nile and some other places, yes, there were a number of farmers who are making things happen. There are also some other farmers who are not making things happen. Just like in a classroom, you have some people passing, you have others failing. But that does not mean that there are no problems in the administration and all those things. You see, so the first point to note is that we need to look at farmers as economic actors. You see, they contribute to livelihood, they contribute to the food that we eat, the food security that we have, even here in urban centers. And their DNA remains feeding the world, and they have never absconded from that duty. So they should never be radicalized. Honorable Abia started from what was there before. And I think that's a very important point. Was it better than what we have now? And first of all, I really don't think so. One is that the kind of system that we had, the foundations of extension services in this country, was never based on demand driven. It was actually based on supply. But not just supply, but forceful supply. You see, it was prefectorial. You see, when you hear extension people coming to your home, you would actually shake. They had to force you to grow certain things. If you don't achieve certain acreage, you remember we have some in areas coffee called chiboko. Why do they call it chiboko? They would force you to grow coffee. If you don't grow it, they beat you. In my area, there is something they call makatara. Makatara used to be marked line, so that they put a line. If you don't reach that line, my friend, you cannot. You don't
reach the line with what?
With the hoe. You had to dig and reach certain line. So it's marked line. Okay? Marked line. So the horror in Western Uganda in Rukunju called it Makatara because they couldn't speak English at that time. So those are the foundations of extension. And this new mode of extension was aimed at liberating the farmers. First of all, to make choices. What enterprise are you interested in? So what's our view? Our view is that yes, NAADS has tried to reach farmers and offer advice. And I want to agree with my colleague from the ministry that there have been challenges. Some will choose to call them failures, others will choose to call them problems, others will call them, political whatever. But there are challenges and we must grapple with them and find solutions. It's not enough to really come here or go anywhere and castigate NAADS without proposing solutions. And I am coming with the solution. We need to digitalize extension.
Okay, let me ask a very
Can I explain the digital extension? Let me talk about digital extension.
No,
just a second.
Okay.
Because it is important for them to understand it. And this digital extension, must tap or piggyback from the transformation we have had as a country. 250 FM stations broadcasting in different linguistic languages. 30 television stations. You see, 17.2 million people on mobile phones that are charged on a daily basis. You see, so we can harness that potential and we have a strategy on how we can do that.
At what price?
I am telling you that at the agency, for instance, we are reaching millions of farmers with information at zero price.
At zero price.
My argument here is, my brother is living in a world where Abia does not come from.
I am telling you, I'm a farmer.
Too much fantasy.
who is even digitalizing extension when he's aware that it will take 6.7 years before the other
17
farmer is
million
ready, before we
people
get
have
there.
phones and they are farmers. Let's not think farmers are victims. And you know, Abia makes a mistake. Why do you think farmers are victims?
Hold on, Morrison. Just hold on.
Let's get this right.
Just hold on.
We have some money. We say we...
No. Let me get one comment from the audience, and then we'll come back to the panelists. Let me go to Agnes Chirabo. I just want to ask you a direct question, and I would like a direct answer. Morrison says that the extension services that we had previously are not as good as what we have under NAADS. What's your opinion, since you're from the Food Rights Alliance and you deal with farmers?
I think we are glossing over very pertinent issues. And what was happening to me is that what was the problem that we are trying to solve to bring in NAADS? I think it is very critical. Has it addressed that problem? We must remember that NAADS was one of the pillars of the plan for modernization of agriculture that was supposed to provide a number of services, so many other pillars. There was a marketing, there was a microfinance, and so many others. All the rest did not take off, except NAADS. And now the question that is also paramount, that's why we are demanding for everything from the humble son who obeyed and agreed to work. And to the question as to whether farmers can demand for services or they were ready to demand for services, I must tell you that yes, farmers can demand for services, and they deliberately refuse to demand for services because the market access pillar of PMA did not take off. Somebody is growing maize and doesn't know at what price to who I'm going to sell. Okay. Are they very stupid to invest in such a venture?
All right, Agnes, very concerned farmer over there. Let's take a short break. This debate is just getting heated up, so don't leave. We're coming back from the break.